guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Danielle, the owner and creator of OrangePandaDesigns. Today, I'm here to show you how I make my coasters for work, for my desk. This is, I want to say, an easy tutorial, but there is a lot of steps to it. But stick with me and I will take you through every step of the process and it will be easy. What we're going to do today is make these. So I just thought this was fun paper that I had. And so, okay, so let's begin this project. I've already pre-cut everything I needed, so I'm just going to go over what you will need. So you want 2 pieces of a 4x4 piece of paper. These are part of the 12x12 paper that you can find at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or JoAnns. And you just want regular plain scrapbook paper. That's all you need. And I just cut out 2 pieces of 4x4 because when this is done, it will be trimmed down to a 3.5 circle. So that's what I used for my coasters. If you wanted to make a square one, you could as well. I would just probably still cut it 4x4, and then when you get your cutting machine, you'll just trim it down to the size that you want. And all of these should be the same size. So 2 pieces for the front and back of the coaster. And then you also want 2 pieces of Decor Bond by Pellin. It's 809. This is going to make this paper stiffer once we iron on. So you want 2 pieces of this 4x4. And then you also want 2 pieces of vinyl mat that we're going to fuse to the top of the coasters, front and back. This comes in matte and it also comes in glossy. I prefer matte, but you can purchase glossy if you like. I know they have this at Hobby Lobby and JoAnns. I don't know about Michael's, but I get mine at JoAnns. That's usually where I get most of my fabric stuff anyway. So you want this. And then you also want just 1 piece of this Wonder Under. I know it sounds funny, but that's what it's called, by Pellin. And I will list all the links to all these items. Like I said, you can purchase them, at least for the interfacings, at Hobby Lobby or JoAnns. But I'll also leave links for Amazon too, if that's just easier for you to purchase. I usually purchase by the yard, but I know in some of these, you can probably get them like in the little smaller packages. So you need that. And then also, just as like an FYI, if you are new to the crafting world and you're not familiar, there's like a running joke with scissors, like for a crafter. Like if someone's gonna use my scissors, you better ask me which ones to use first, because I have scissors for paper, scissors for fabric, and scissors for just everything that you can imagine. And the same with my Rotary cutters. This is the first one I got, and obviously F for fabric. And then these 2 I purchased on Amazon. I just put 1 for vinyl and 1 for paper. Since I've been getting more into vinyl and paper, it's the same thing with scissors. I do not want to dull my blade because I'm using the wrong one with the wrong item. So just something to think about. So now that we have that, now what we can do is go ahead and iron these pieces together. So let's go do that. Okay, so let's iron. And don't mind my ironing board. It's a bit rough. I need to replace the cover. I just haven't done so, and I would like to make my own, and I just haven't done it yet. So this is my iron board. So what you want to do is take your pieces. So I would start with the paper first, and you want to take the thicker, the Decor Bond, and you want to iron that on to your pieces. So depending on how big your iron is, like the face plate of your iron, you probably could do 2 at the same time, but for this purpose, I'm just going to do 1 at a time. So just make sure that you're ironing on the back side and the shiny side. There's a shiny side, which you probably cannot see that well, and the dull side, you want the shiny side down. And because I'm more of a nut, I always put fabric on top of my ironing. You do not have to, but I do. I had just got a new iron a few weeks ago, and I just wanted to keep the plate pretty nice. And all you want to do is put it on there for 10 seconds. So and it will be nice and hot. So you do that side, and then do the next one. Now that we have that, so now we have both sides with their H facing on. See, it's a little thicker. What you want to do now is you want to attach the under the one piece of paper that you have, and you'll see, I don't know if you can see this with a shiny, but there's a shiny side, a shiny side and a dull side. You want to attach this shiny side to the back side of one of them. So, and yet again, I would do 10 seconds. And with this, what I would do, and I didn't do it with the others, you could also iron 10 seconds on the front, which, you know what, I'm just going to do that for these as well. I just like to have it extra secure, extra not going anywhere. I mean, and all the times that I've done these and I've made things with these, nothing has ever come apart. But, you know, I just like to have the extra security. Okay, so we're going to put the shiny side down. And with this one, I do not use a cloth. You could, but I don't, because this will stick right to it. And do this for 10 seconds, so. And then I would do the front side as well for 10 seconds. And I'm going to put my cloth on top of here. Okay, so now we ironed both sides of it, and it is hot. So let me, so what you want to do is when you're ready to peel it, you'll see like a little, I don't know if you see that edge right there. I'm trying to get some of the shadows. But you want to peel this off, and it should come off without no issues. And you want to peel the top layer off, not the interfacing that you ironed on previously. So just like that. And it'll come off just like that. And then, since this is a print, I just want to make sure that I have them upright, like on the same side, not one twisted one way, one twisted another way. So perfect. So, and then you can guess what we're going to do now. We are going to iron again for 10 seconds on both sides. Okay. And then just flip it and do the other side. So now you have your coaster ready to begin to do the next piece of the project. So, but we'll let that cool for a little bit and then we'll do the next piece. Okay, so now that we iron this and it's nice and cool, we are ready to, this is a part that if you want to personalize your coaster, I would do it now. My preference is to put the vinyl on before we put the top layer of the vinyl, just because not that vinyl should come off. I mean, this is just regular indoor removable vinyl that I bought from Hobby Lobby. But I just like knowing that I have the extra security of the vinyl not moving so over time. And just as a reminder, these coasters are fun coasters for your desk. These are not, they are not gonna suck up condensation or you know, heat from the mug or anything. Like, it's not gonna do that. So don't think that, you know, like these are gonna just be the savior for the summer when your glass is sweating, because it's not that purpose. These are just to be cute for your desk, and like I use these for work and just change them every season or when I want a new one. So they're just for decoration, they're just for fun. I wouldn't suggest using these in the car as coasters as well either, because you know, when you go through a drive-thru and get a drink, usually there's ice, condensation, eventually it's gonna fall onto it, and you just wouldn't want it to get ruined. I might have gotten like a touch of water here or there on it, but for the most part, I keep mine dry. And that's why I also like the vinyl on top of it, because it keeps it nice and sealed. So, okay, so I am going to add my initial to it. And I made mine, since this is a 4-inch square, I made mine for that, the height at least to be 2 inches. So, and I have my vinyl scissors that I'm gonna use, because I have scissors for every purpose. Let me see if I can get this off. And I realized when I went over the materials that we were going to use for this project, I didn't announce everything. So I will be going over that as we're doing it. So I apologize. This is my first tutorial that I'm doing, so give me a little grace, please. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, make sure you have, I believe that these are squeegees, but that's what you're gonna need to also apply the vinyl to the paper. Nope, that is not. That's, yeah. Oh, come on. Okay, perfect. And I'm going to eyeball this just because I'm going to go with that's good. If you're not comfortable eyeballing it, no worries. Just get out a measure, a ruler, and do it that way. Okay. We're going to save that for another time. Okay. So now we are ready to apply our vinyl. And like I said, this comes in matte or glossy. I am using matte. I always have this, okay. So basically you want to pull it off. And it's kind of like if you've worked with laminate sheets, I would pull it off as you go. And then just lay it down. And this does not have to be even. I mean, yes, you want it on the paper, but it does not have to be lined perfectly, because you are giving yourself the extra wiggle room because you've made your square bigger, that you're totally fine if it's just a little whopper job on the ends. So you want to do the same thing to the other side. And I know this is a lot of steps for one item, but trust me, when you get it, like when you do it, you're gonna be like, that's so cool. At least that's what I think. Okay. You just want to make sure it's as, it's as down as it can be. Sure where the leather is. This is going to be okay. And then, so now that we have that, now it's time to laminate it. Well, not laminate it per se. We basically want to heat this up so that the vinyl fuses to the paper. And I've done it with an iron before. I do not like it because it leaves marks. Like it leaves, like the edges are already going to be a little bit shrunk down. But when I've done one side, it comes out great. And then when I've ironed the other side, because the heat is, something happens with the iron and it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look clean. So what I have stumbled upon using, about 2 years ago, I had gotten myself a Heidi make machine, and I can probably count on one hand how many times I've used it to foil. I use it mostly for items like this. So let me show you how to do that. So this is the Heidi swap make machine. It's primarily used to foil. Like I said, I've done it probably a handful of times, and getting frustrated with putting the vinyl fuse on my paper and basically having it kind of ruined with the iron, I was like, let me see if I can try it with this machine. And I've done it a bazillion times that it works. So trust me when I say it works. So let me plug this in. I do not know if you can use like a laminator machine. I don't know if it will have the same effect, so I do not want to say that. But if you have a Heidi swap make machine, you definitely can do that. And what I would do in the beginning, I was using a setting of 3, but now I just go full force and go to 5. And also it comes with a carrier sheet. You need to use this. You definitely need to use this. And also what you need to use, because this is vinyl, if you put this in with this, it's just going to melt to it, and you're going to have a you're going to have a hard time getting this off. I had that happen to me once. It wasn't because it wasn't covered. I did think a piece of it got uncovered, so it was not fun. So what I have learned from experience, you can buy this paper. This is Canson graduate sketch paper. I've got it at Walmart. This is a smaller size. They also have a larger size. This smaller size, I do have both sizes, but this would be perfect for this. And what you want is a piece that's big enough that you can fold in half that will go around your project. So I'm just going to take off a piece. And basically, once you are done with this piece, you are throwing it away. It is no longer any use for you. So, just want to fold that in half. And then we will put that right there. Okay. And then we will get, and what I do with this, my personal preference is to put the folded edge out and put this edge in here. Because my thought is if it does come out, at least it will be secured with a folded side. So, like I said, I've done this a bazillion times. I do this for the earrings that I sell at my Etsy shop. This works. So, we're just waiting for this to heat up. So if you do not have a Heidi swap machine, I do not suggest you go out and buy one because I know that they are expensive. But I also know that I think she came out with a different color, but it may be smaller. So I don't know if these ones are being marked down or not. But so what you want to do is basically put it into your machine and try to get it in as evenly as possible. And I try to hold it right there just so that I know it's going through. Hopefully as evenly as possible. And then we're gonna wait for it to come out on the other side. And I did not get it in as evenly as possible, of course. So it's gonna be a little crinkly on the edges, but that's okay. And do not pull this out. Do not do that. Just let it feed through. As slow as it is, just let it feed through. I mean, if you have multiples that you want it to do, you can do it. I just highly suggest you cover it with the paper before you stick it in the carrier sheet so that it does not ruin your carrier sheet. Because you will be mad at yourself. Trust me. Okay. So it's literally like watching paint dry. It's slow, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. Okay, so now that it's done, before I turn it off, I just want you guys to see, because that was where I had it stuck many moons ago. Okay. So if you take it out of the paper, oops, take it out of the paper, take it out, and there you go. It's all evenly distributed. It's really pretty. And the reason why you don't want to reuse this paper is because, I don't know if you can see that, but the edges have all this like ickiness, stickiness on it. So you don't want to use that, because if you put another piece in here and you don't align it up correctly, that icky stickiness is going to get on your project and you don't want that. So let me clear off my space and we will get back to it again. Hey guys, so here we are back in Cricut Design Space, and that's what I use because I own a Cricut. But obviously if you have a Silhouette or a Brother Skin and Cut, use the program that comes with your machine. And I already have my circle here. Mine is going to be a 3.5 round circle, and all you want to do is go into your shapes for whatever machine you have. Just get a circle and change it to any size you like. I do 3.5. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. If you're doing a gift tag, you can change it to whatever size you need. And then you would just like go up here and change it, and there you go. So with that, let me just hide this. So we have this, and so what you want to do once you have it to the size that you want it, just click make, and I am going to move mine to the center, because I never like it on the edge, because depending on the mat that I'm using, I'm most likely using painter's tape to make sure it stays securely on there. So I like it in the center, and that way, because my piece is a 4x4, I know that it will just go in between the 1 and the 5 squares. So do continue. Now for a maker, I have the original maker, so I use the settings for this. I'm pretty sure the settings would be the same for a maker 3, but I'm not sure. And if you have a Cricut Explorer, I don't know if that cuts leather or not. But that's, you want to use a cutting setting that is going to cut heavy duty. So what I would do is browse all your materials and go to leather, and you want to choose tooling leather, because tooling leather is more structure versus like garment leather, which I think would be more not velvety but more thin, and tooling leather just is basically a little bit more thicker. And what you're cutting, because you have the paper with the interfacing with the vinyl fused to it, it is thicker. It is not exactly 2.4 millimeter thicker, but it is thicker, and that's the setting that you want, because it will give you a nice clean cut edge. So just choose that, and then I will just put my project into my machine, and then I will come back to you when it's done. Okay, so I'm back. It's cut, and I'm not going to show you my mat because it's really disgusting, and I should just get a new one, but I just use painter's tape to tape mine on, because with the leather setting it is pulling at your material a lot, so I just use painter's tape to help it. But as you can see, that it just cut right through just like butter, and I'm just going to get the edges off, and oops, and there you have it. So here is my new little fun little coaster. So as you can see, like it's really thin. And obviously this part, because of this paper, isn't covered, but this is covered, this is covered. So you'll see, like this one that I have for myself, this I did was iron on vinyl. So I just heated it on, and then obviously attached the other fused vinyl over it. But I mean, you can see, like, it does not get, if you have like little marks on it, you can probably just wipe it off, but it doesn't get dirty. And like I was saying, I think in another video, you can use these for name tags, gift tags. Like, I make my earrings basically out of the same format. So, you know, it's such like a fun, cute little, just quick thing to do, just as like an added decoration to your desk. And if you're like me and you work in an office, it just gives you like a cool, funky vibe, you know, to your desk. Or if someone else, you know, who works in the office, or for a teacher gift. And then I do not have a cup with me, but I do have a little candle. You see, and I was not just using this for a candle, but you can see with the shape of it, how much is left over on the sides. So even with the drink, I believe you'll still have like a 1/2 inch on the sides. So that's it. So that's all you have to do to make your own coaster. So, you know, make one, make a few, make as many as you want. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. I will leave a link to all the stuff that I used to get this done, so that you can go to your local craft store or order online from Amazon. You know, and like, crafting is a lot of fun, and it's a lot of, there's a lot of things you can do with it, but I also know it can get expensive. So if you do not have the make machine and maybe you have a laminator, try it. I don't know if it will give you the same result, but you can always try it. I just used what I had, and that's what I think what part of it is of you just learning with your craft is just using the materials you have and seeing what comes of it. So that's it. So let me know what you think and leave your comments below. Thanks. Bye. So what'd you think? Like I said, I know it's a lot of steps, but once you get it down, you can use the same process for anything. Gift tags, bookmarks, anything that you can think of that could be paper that you can make it a little bit stiffer, the process will work. So let me know if you have any questions. I will leave all the links to everything below. And like I said, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just let me know because I'm happy to help you do this as well. Thanks. Bye.